Hey everyone, it's baze.djunkiii transmitting from Hamburg, Germany, back with a new video, and well, finally back with a new vinyl talk video, a series I started on this channel like, I don't know, more than a year ago, or like maybe 2 years ago, and the plan was like to pick like a random or not so random record from my vinyl collection and show it and like talk a little bit about it, but well, I planned this to do this monthly, which didn't work out obviously, so this is like more like an regular thing. And yeah, I found a record I want to talk about, like a more recent one, and I guess I'm gonna show it first. Beautiful cover, and yeah, it's by Silicon Scally. It's a cobalt blue EP on the label called CPU, Central Processing Unit. I hope this works out with the glare and stuff. And yeah, CPU, a like term from computer science and stuff, and this is why the catalog numbers, I guess the catalog numbers are in binary. So I don't read binary, but if you learn this at some point, you will get which catalog number this is. And yeah, this is a special record by Silicon Scally. Silicon Scally is a project by Carl A. Finlow, a electro producer who has been around for like ages, I guess, like more than 20 years right now, and he is like the master of disguises. So he's involved in like quite a number of projects, also runs the 2020 Vision project with his like mate and longtime friend like Ralph Lawson, and is like involved in Random Factor, I guess, and many other names. Look him up on Discogs. And yeah, this is the label of the record, like one side, B-side actually, and this is the like info side and stuff. And this record is special because, well, I follow Carl A. Finlow, Silicon Scally, like for a while, because I have like some really excellent stuff by him, so I listen at least to a lot of records of his. I don't buy that many, but this one was like, it popped up in the record store. I was like, okay, I got like a 7-inch from the CPU label, let me check this. And this is like kind of electro, and at first I was like, okay, this runs at 45 RPM, which is the intended speed. And I listened to them 4 tracks, and it was like, well, it was electro, but it was kind of meh somewhere. It was like not really melodic, although it was soft. It was like kind of dance floor, but not really going forward. And these are, I don't know, somewhere in the middle of nowhere. And I wasn't too impressed at first. And I was like, well, okay, I'm gonna skip this because I like the guy, I like the label, but I don't need every record he puts out, and I don't need every record the label CPU puts out. So I'm gonna skip on this. This was the initial plan. And then I worked in the record store. Like, I don't know if the guy who runs the store was on holiday, or it was just my regular Saturday shift. And I was like, okay, let me listen to this record again, just for curiosity. Maybe, I don't know, you collectors might know this feeling, but sometimes it's like, you listen to a record and it's like, meh, you listened to it the other day and it's like the best thing ever. And so I decided, okay, I'll give it a second shot and stuff. And initially I thought, well, this is like a 4-track EP, and I didn't like think about the speed, but there is like, as you can see here, 2 tracks on each side. And I was like, okay, this might run at like 33 RPM. And so I put it on in the record store, and I was like, well, there was no customers around at the time, which was good. And I could listen to the record like in depth, and it was like, okay, this sounds totally different than I remembered, and this sounds damn good. So what is wrong? And then I discovered I had the record running like on the wrong speed, actually, on 33 RPM instead of 45, and it became a totally different record, like from one speed to the other, because running it at the slower speed, like at 33, is like a very deep, darkish, still electro influence, but more like ambient leaning electronica, a little dystopian, not dance floor anymore, but well, you might dance to it, but it's like very slow tempo, and it became like a very fascinating, deep record. It became like had like different layers. The melodies changed, like of course with the tempo, the pitch changed, but also I felt they were more intricate and darker, and it was like a fascinating effect. And I was like, then I put it on the right speed on 33, on 45, and I was like, well, this doesn't do anything for me at all. But listening to the record at like 33 RPM gives like a whole another dimension to the whole thing. And yeah, this is like a fascinating effect which I haven't experienced in like a lot of recent records. There are some like very like tricky, complex drum and bass records from back in the day, with whom or with whose this effect comes into play when you play them at the slow speed, at the wrong speed. But I was pretty much surprised, and the whole tracks, all tracks of those on here is like Cobalt Blue, Scintillation, Asynchronous, and Protocol 2. All of them become these like or turn into this like darkish kind of dystopian electronica ambient cuts when you play them at the wrong speed. So it's like, well, I bought this record and just because of this effect and because of how I liked and loved the sound of the tracks at the wrong speed. So if you see this, Mr. Carl A. Finlow, aka Silicon Skelly, I'm like sorry, but this time your intended speed didn't work for me, but the wrong speed worked better for me. So I thought I could share this just as a like pretty quick and dirty vinyl talk thing, just to give you a thing. So I don't know how to pronounce this right. 0000. Oh, this is wrong. 010011101. So maybe you pronounce it like this. On CPU, Central Processing Unit, is like a record you should check out if you come across it in a record store. But check this out for the wrong tempo. Actually check this out for the 33 RPM and not for the 45, because it sounds just better. So this is just a quick little dirty vinyl talk today. I guess my battery is running low anyway. From the distribution front, well, Corona is still affecting businesses, of course, but from what I experience on an everyday basis in my day job is like there are still records going to be released and stuff. So watch out. And I guess not all record stores are closed, but it's like they found some gaps, or like are delivering records to their customers and shipping stuff out. So the vinyl world isn't like halted like everyday life is, but it moves slower, but still new stuff is coming out. So some effects I described in one of my other videos, like the one where I described the coronavirus impact on the music industry, might be a little like less heavyweight than I thought, because labels are still moving records around and stuff. So, but this is after like 1 or 2 weeks only of the shutdown, worldwide shutdown and stuff. So we'll see how this progresses and stuff. Now I'm going to go into editing mode for sure, and I hope I don't fall asleep because I'm tired as hell and my eyes are itchy, kind of, because of hay fever and stuff. And yeah, I hope to see you in the next one. If you like this one, go down to the description box, leave a comment, like, share, subscribe, all the good stuff. Check my social media and Instagram and stuff, and I'm going to see you in the next one. See you later.